ball is flat as hell. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and I just want to wish you all a happy new year. 2022 has come to an end. The day I'm recording this, we're only a few days away from the end of 2022. Maybe by the time you watch this, 2022 is already over, and we're in 2023. Want to wish you guys the happiest of New Year's. With the year coming to an end, we have what is now, I guess, going to be a yearly tradition on this channel for as long as this channel is going to be happening, and that is an MCU tier list ranking. But not from the start. We're not doing from Iron Man 1 all the way to, I guess, what do we have? Guardians? The new Guardians special? Yeah, not like that, because this is the third part in my MCU ranking. I did one in the middle of last year, and then I did one at the end of last year, because when I did one in the middle, a bunch of other projects came out since then, and then I was like, all right, we're going to do a whole wrap-up at the end of 2021. So we did that, and now at the end of 2022, we're going to be putting in the projects that came out this year. What a lineup, huh? Whew, man, this is... Oh, boy. You know, after looking at this lineup, it's like, oh, God. This was really 2022, huh? If there was ever a year that Marvel was having a down year and the fans were turning away from it and were looking for other superhero content to watch, this was supposed to be DC's year to grasp the fans, and then they didn't. Although, you know, the one big thing that DC releases here, The Batman, yeah, it's better than this entire Marvel lineup what we have. So maybe that's a dub, you know? Marvel went for quantity over quality, while DC went for quality over quantity, and it paid off, because the Batman's really good. I just want to say something about Phase 4 real quick, because a lot of people are shitting on Phase 4. Now, the way I see Phase 4, I'm going to label it the experimental phase. It's the phase we're exiting the Infinity Saga. The Infinity Saga was planned since day one, I want to say, and, you know, we're going to get to Thanos and the Infinity Stones and all of that. And then exiting the Infinity Saga, we were like, what's next? And I want to say the creators, I'm just saying this on my own, I don't know, you know, no proof at all. Most of the creators were also like, what's next? And we had first rollouts of the Disney Plus series, and they're tweaking them now. They're too short, and now look at it. Now we're getting more Disney Plus series in the futures, and they're going to be longer to let the story flow better, like Daredevil. Going to be 18 episodes. I'm excited for Phase 5. And looking back on Phase 4, definitely the weakest phase, I'd probably say, out of all 4 phases that we have so far. But an experimental phase. There were some hitters in it overall. We're not going to talk about some of them today, but there was definitely a lot of misses and forgettable stuff and just meh. Like I said, all of these projects that are already up here, except the ones on the very bottom right here, have already been put in here from the last 2 tier list videos. I explained shortly why every project went where it went, so if you're looking for my explanation with that, go check out those videos. I'm not going to be going through these projects again. But yeah, the categories go marvelous, obviously. Marvelous. Top category. Good is the second category. That's just underneath marvelous. So marvelous is the best one. Good is the second best one. Then we have meh. It's like, you know, just meh projects. And then we have get dusted. Those are the worst projects, in my opinion. And like I said, this is my tier list, my opinion and my thoughts, kind of. Everybody has different opinions. You know, agree with me down in the comments if you want. Disagree with me down in the comments if you want. But yeah, let's just have a discussion about this stuff. I like talking about it, so go ahead. Tell me what you think. So yeah, Moon Knight. Okay, Moon Knight. It's interesting because when it was happening, it was super exciting. It was super different. It was dark also and emotional. Heavily carried by Oscar Isaac's performance. I mean, without Oscar Isaac and without his performance, I think the show wouldn't have been as memorable as it was. Because honestly, most of the episodes you're watching it, I was enthralled with his performance. And I think without his performance, the writing can be weak sometimes. The action is pretty good. I like the costumes in the show a lot. Actually, the Moon Knight costumes are really cool. The suit, Mr. Moon Knight or whatever, he's really cool. And just the regular Moon Knight costume is really dope. But yeah, I'm hoping for a season 2. We haven't got an announcement for a season 2 yet. That's kind of worrying, or a movie or something. I think there's a lot of potential with Oscar Isaac and with the Moon Knight story to go further on, and hopefully maybe more of a mature rated R like rating and freedom can really do a lot for this show. But for its first season, the good category, You know what the problem is? I'm looking at this tier list, and I feel like in the past I was a little bit more lenient, and I was giving out Marvelous to. Actually, now that I look at this list, like all of these projects, I think deserve to be in Marvelous pretty much. But I think I was a little bit like more lenient in the past, and I think in the past I would say Moon Knight would go in Marvelous, especially if I was filming this back in March when the show first came out. I'll definitely say Marvelous. But I'm all the way in December, and thinking back on the show, I think it's in good. I think it's like on the line of being marvelous or good, you know? Like it could be marvelous. But I'm going to stick it in the good category for now. But I just want to let you know that I could put it up here, but I'm not going to. I'm going to put it in the good category. Next up, we have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, or in the Multiverse of Madness. I always get this wrong, but I have two videos actually about this movie. I have a spoiler review, and I also have a movie reaction where I watched it with my good buddy Alex, who's been doing reactions with me on this channel. He never seen it in that video, so it's his first time reaction in that video. So if you want, go check it out. Comments were interesting on that video. Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't understand our jokes about it and stuff like that. It's fine. But I'm happy we are far away from this movie, so Wanda Stans can now... Yo. I'm just joking. And speaking of Wanda, she was the best part of this movie. Wanda Maximoff, Elizabeth Olsen as the villain of this movie was definitely the best part of it. Sam Raimi did his thing with the filmmaking, but I think where this movie definitely lacks is the script, and the biggest bummer about it is that the movie's called Multiverse of Madness, but it doesn't deliver the Multiverse of Madness. This movie we knew was coming out for years, right? And we were all excited. Multiverse movie, madness, let's go. Doctor Strange is gonna be crazy. Marvel, we're gonna see all this crazy multiverse shit in this movie. But then, do you know how crazy it is? Out of nowhere, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once came out. It came out maybe like a month or two after or before Doctor Strange. It came out of nowhere. You know, it did not have the hype that Doctor Strange did. And it's a far better multiverse movie. It's the superior multiverse movie. And I'm just disappointed with Multiverse of Madness, honestly. With just the title alone, you know? Like, I was hoping for something. The cameos were okay, fun, sure. But, you know, your movie shouldn't be all about cameos. And outside of cameos, again, Elizabeth Olsen was great. Doctor Strange was alright in his film. Like, Benedict Cumberbatch did his thing, but there seems to be a weird thing with Doctor Strange where in his movies, he's not, like, super memorable. Yeah, good. See, unlike Moon Knight can go either marvelous or good. I think Doctor Strange can go meh or good. Oh, man, I feel like I'm being too lenient with Doctor Strange looking back at it. Is it? Yeah, no, I'm gonna leave it in the meh category. I don't know. It could be good, it could be meh. I just look, it's right below the first Doctor Strange movie. It's like, I like the first Doctor Strange movie more. Okay, here we have a sleeper hitter for me, and that is Miss Marvel. Now, Miss Marvel was a show that when I first saw the trailer, I was like, I don't know, this doesn't seem like it's targeted towards me. It was like, it was going for like this teenage girl, you know, she goes through high school, but she gains superpowers, and, you know, like, it didn't seem like the style was really, like, speaking to me. But me and my buddy Alex, we started watching. I believe that was our first reaction series that we started doing together on this channel. Really took off. You guys showed a lot of support on that one. And we actually loved it. Especially the first half of the show, I think, has good vibes about it in general. Kamala Khan is very likable. Her family and friends and her relationship with her family and friends, I think, is what really does it for us with this show. The villains are absolutely trash in this show. Some of the worst villains in the MCU. They're really bad in this show. But this show was fun and it had heart to it. And yeah, it's cute, it's adorable. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the good category, actually, because it was actually a surprise. Like, I don't know, I liked it. I'm sitting here, this is the third time I'm doing this tier list. I don't remember the last two times being this difficult. What the hell? Alright, next up, we have a movie that when the trailer came out, you can go back and watch my trailer reaction to this movie. I made a prediction with this movie, and this prediction came out so incredibly true. Holy shit. If I knew the future like I did with this movie, I could play the lottery and I could win so much fucking money. Because I said in those trailers, I said Taika Waititi is not going to be able to help himself, and he might do too much with the comedy, and it's not going to work like it did the first time with Thor Ragnarok. And I was fucking right. This movie goes in here. Get dusted. Somehow, Thor is now the most inconsistent franchise in the MCU because I have 3 Thor movies in the Get Dusted category, but Thor Ragnarok is up here in the Marvelous category. The first Thor Ragnarok movie was like really funny, really good, surprising, and then second time around he was like, let's do it again, but bigger and more jokes, and it's just gonna be more corny. And yeah, best parts of that movie were Christian Bale as Gord the God Butcher, but we didn't really see him butcher many gods. He was kind of wasted in the movie. Best part wasn't in it much. Do you want to know what the best version of Thor is? Infinity War Thor is the best version of Thor. There's such a great balance of awesomeness and epicness and humor in that movie. It just works so well. But in Thor Love and Thunder, he's so corny, and even the awesomeness. Oh, actually no, I like the Thor action in this movie. When they're throwing down the fight scenes, I thought were pretty creative and they're done well, but even that is not able to save this movie from just being an absolute cornball of a movie. This show caused a lot of discourse amongst the fan base. It split the fan base a lot. There's people that liked it, found it fun for what it was. And then there's people that absolutely fucking hated it. And breaking news, especially if you watched our reaction to this show I fucking hated. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the Get Dusted category. This is 9 episodes or 8 episodes of just the biggest waste of time ever. Quick disclaimer, me saying that the show is bad does not mean I hate women. Women are great. The show just fucking sucks. It was like a lawyer comedy show with fourth wall breaks, but almost nothing in the show worked. The comedy didn't work. There was a few jokes I remember in the beginning that made me chuckle a little bit, but for 9 episodes, almost nothing. The 8th episode is the best episode of the show by far, and that is because Daredevil is in it, and Jen and Daredevil, they have great chemistry together. Tatiana and Charlie had fantastic chemistry together in that episode. And I remember watching the 8th episode thinking, where the hell was this for the last 7 episodes? And then you watch the 9th episode, the final episode, and they do this mega big brain fourth wall break where they make fun of their formulaic writing that they did for 8 episodes. But that 8th episode is definitely the best one. I mean, 1 out of 9, I guess, this show went for. And this was my first introduction to Tatiana Maslany. I guess I gotta check out some of her other work because there was a lot of people that were really big fans of her coming into the show. I knew nothing about her. This is my first introduction to her. And this was not a great outing because the writing is so bad. I guess I gotta go check out some of her other work to do her justice. Yeah. Okay, next up we have another project that's a really big surprise for me, and that is Werewolf by Night, directed by Michael Giacchino. Speaking of the Batman, he did the score for the Batman. Amazing composer, and he's making his directorial debut here with a Marvel special presentation. This was the first one that we got on Halloween, called Werewolf by Night. And I'm going to go ahead and stick it actually in the Marvelous category. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed the style of it. I thought Michael Giacchino did a fantastic job directing it. The black and white, just the feel of it and everything. The short story that we have here is great, I thought. I thought the action was spectacular in this. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. They had like a style and a theme to it. And they committed to it very well. And yeah, hats off to Michael Giacchino for what he did with this one. This was the first special presentation for Marvel Studios, and I think it was a hit. I really enjoyed it. Coming to the end here. So, we have Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Again, I have a review for this movie on the channel, so if you want my full thoughts, you can go check them out. I'm going to go ahead and stick it in the good category. Obviously, we know the massive struggle that this movie went through when filming with the passing of Chadwick Boseman and the rewrites and the stuff that they had to do. Yeah, it's just going to go in the good category. It's almost 3 hours long. It does not need to be that long. I had some issues with some character choices here and there. But in general, the movie is entertaining. And it's funny that I'm putting it in the good category because after the movie, there were some people asking me, hey, so what did you think about it? I said, yeah, it's good. It's good. that's pretty much all I had to say. Like, I didn't have anything like, oh my god, it's crazy, it's amazing. Like, yeah, it's good. And honestly, the more I kind of think about this movie, and the closer that we got to the movie, and especially after seeing the movie, I just think, should we have just recasted T'Challa? They did like a smart thing. I mean, spoiler alert, they did like a smart kind of thing. They want to have T'Challa in the MCU. So, you know, T'Challa had a son, and his son's name is T'Challa. So whenever he grows up in the distant future of the MCU, we will have a T'Challa that is T'Challa's son. But I'm thinking, should we have just recasted him and had T'Challa stay alive? And how different would that story play out? I don't know. This movie just had a lot on its plate to do. Yeah, it's just gonna go in the good category, honestly, for me. All right, so wrapping up the tier list, we have one final project, and that is the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, which is, I did a reaction to that, and it's on the channel. I'm gonna go ahead and smack it in the meh category. And that's mainly because, well, we have one special presentation already, and it's in the marvelous category. I thought it's really good, really great. But as far as special presentation goes, for me, with this one, it was pretty much just like catching up with the Guardians and just hanging out with them for a little bit. I don't really feel like it offered anything huge. Spoiler alert for the thing. Yeah, I guess you learn that Mantis is Star-Lord's sister through Ego, stuff like that. But outside of that, and it's in the meh category, not for like the fact that it's bad. It's just kind of meh. It's just kind of in the middle, like kind of waiting for Guardians 3 now. This was kind of in between, you know, the last Guardians showing in the MCU and now Guardians 3, and this was, hey, let's catch up with them, see what's happening. What are they doing on Christmas? It was just kind of like just an episode with the Guardians. This is the MCU ranked by me. Phase 4 is done. We're moving on to Phase 5. The experimental phase, Phase 4, is done, and all the projects are plopped in here. The MCU went for this approach of quantity over quality. That's how I summarized it from day one. And, you know, a lot of projects suffered because of that. Of this, like, you know, we have a bunch of other projects in the future, and you're not as important on our list as some other stuff. I'm really looking forward to Phase 5, you know. Some of the trailers they released for upcoming Phase 5 projects, like I said, look really good. I have trailer reactions out to those, so check them out. Yeah, just excited, really. Thank God Phase 4 is over, and we can move on to Phase 5 now. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think of my tier list? What would you move around? How would your tier list look? Let me know all of that down in the comments. I would love to have a discussion with you about that. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for a great year. Hopefully you guys have a great New Year's, celebrating New Year's. And yeah, check out some of my other videos. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.